Hello, everyone. Ian and Leona here. Just another day somewhere in California. Somewhere in California, because once again, PTSD trigger after PTSD trigger. I decided to go for a walk with my animals because, you know, why wouldn't you enjoy some sunshine and some exercise? Dogs get a bit tired. I say, that's cool, that's cool. Let's rest up, let's get a drink. So I go to a local little smoothie place, and it's, I guess, locally owned. So it's a female manager, and there's no cashier. So it's self check-in for your order. So I put in my order, I let her know exactly what I want and how I want it, and she brings it out. Now, normally I have this rule of just put it on a counter, put it on a table, just don't hand it directly to me. Number one, because it could spill. And two, because I have PTSD from military sexual trauma, I just don't like letting people that close. But I made an exception because this woman was the proprietor of her business, her restaurant. Could she go batshit crazy and attack me? Of course. That does happen, but it's really unlikely. Like, I don't care, how embedded this weird California thing is. If you own a business, you probably want to stay in business. So she hands me my stuff. I'm a little skeeved out, but I just accept it. It's delicious. Absolutely delicious. And it's my favorite blend. So whoever decided this was like spot on. That's exactly what I wanted. But I go outside, I try to get an Uber, and I noticed that I didn't really walk that far, so it's not going to be an expensive Uber. So I go for Uber X, and the Uber X driver comes and he's like, "No, I don't want to take you and your animals." I'm like, "These are my service animals," and he's like, "No, cancel the trip." So I try to cancel the trip, and they charge me $5 to cancel the trip. And I was just like, "Eh." But then I also said, how sad is his life that he wouldn't accept a quick trip like this. He's like, I don't need you. He's like, I don't need your money. And I'm like, well, I don't need you as a ride. So he's out. And then I change it to Uber Pet because they don't have. I'm going to complain to Uber about this because it's insulting to have to choose Uber Pet for two service animals. Why? Because they're not dogs, they're prosthetics. They're prosthetics. They're the same as a cane or a wheelchair. They're extensions of me. I book the ride, and these are nothing more than my crutches. And I have to call them that, the crutches, because I cannot deal with people. I cannot deal with people on an emotional level, definitely not. On an intrinsic, it gives me anxiety to have to deal with people. Yeah, that's definitely the case. So I switch over to Uber Pet, and immediately it matches me up with a woman. I'm like, I'm not going to be in a car with a woman. Like, no. A bus, like, I had to ride a bus with a woman, but she's behind her cage or whatever. And I'm sitting at the far end of the bus. And that was like, that was it. Like, nothing against that female driver, but I have PTSD. I don't want to be in that kind of situation. I don't want to hear also the high pitch. Oh, 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 this is so cute. Oh, what are they doing? Like, how annoying is that bullshit? Like, do they hear themselves? It's just like, you're fucking ovulating over my dogs. Like, that's what it feels like. It feels like their vaginas are opening up and they want to swallow my dog's whole because they feel empty inside. When I hear that noise coming out of a woman's mouth over my dogs, that's what I think. I think either you ain't got no kids or you wish someone would dote on you like I dote on my animals because I love them. Anyway, I safely canceled that trip. I was like, no, no, not happening, not happening. And then she shows up again, and I'm like, no. She shows up again. I'm like, God fucking damn it. And then eventually, I actually looked at the Uber, and Uber was like, "Do you just want a different driver?" And I was just like, "Yeah, I do. Can you do that? Can you do that for me?" Okay, good, good, good. You see, I have PTSD, so I have this special thing where after being sexually abused by the American government, not a random person. I was sexually abused by a federal government employee. Do you get that, California? So, no, I don't want any woman near me whatsoever. Why? Because I cannot think of any other way to say this, but are you fucking hiring female agents to fucking follow me and stare at my beauty? Because I am beautiful, but like, what the fuck is this? I mean, that was luck of the draw. Anyway, I switched over to a male on the next one. He was an old guy. He asked me, "So where you from? Where you from?" And I'm just like, "Do you need to know? Does the car not go vroom vroom unless you know the exact street address of where I grew up, dude?" Because you might want to change that in for something else. If where you from? Where you from? I'm like, California. Vroom vroom, stop the car. I want to get it the fuck out of here. Like done. Done. Oh my god. A PTSD is a motherfucker to fucking deal with because you can explain to people I am severely injured. I may not look like I'm limping, even though I do walk with a limp because of other injuries that I sustained during military service. But it's not the same exact thing as being in a wheelchair where people go, "Oh, oh." That's the reaction that people get when you say you're disabled and they see you in a wheelchair. It's, oh. When you say you have PTSD, they're like, "Hmm, what the fuck is that? What the fuck is that?" And you can't explain to them, no, I have been through shit. I have been through terrible, terrible shit that no American citizen should ever have to deal with. When your American government sits in a committee and says, you will be sexually abused, where do you go from there? Where do you go from there when your government decides to torture you? Not a random person on the street, but someone who was a federal employee sexually abused me and sent me to the hospital. So because of that, like I said, I don't like women near me. I don't like anybody near me. I went to because I was so uncomfortable, I said, let me just get my fucking food and call it a night. Because I tried to cook and Amazon was like, we don't want to fucking deal with you. It's just like, why don't you just get some food delivered, you fancy, fancy person? Hello, Saffron. Hello. Oh my God. Long time no see. Oh, You called me out on like a really, really bad day. Just a really, really bad day because I'm relaying the story of yet another PTSD trigger. PTSD, PTSD. Which is super annoying because people in California, they see me like this. They see the hair, and the hair is well coiffed and designed, and I've got my beard, and I've got my earrings, and I've got my mesh shirt, and my leather jacket. And they're like, "You're a rock star." I'm like, "I make music." It's like, "You're a famous actor or something." It's like, no, no. Like, what director wants to deal with a person who's just like, I can do a scene, but you can't really talk to me in between. And, makeup and hair and costume people, they gotta be right on you. Like, you don't understand, there are no boundaries. There's no, it made me uncomfortable. I'm gonna see your penis. I'm gonna see your butthole. I'm gonna be, doing makeup on your inner thigh. I'm gonna be drawing tattoos on you. I'm gonna be touching you all over. I have to attach this prosthetic here and this prosthetic here to make your cheeks bigger. It's just like we gotta chisel that jawline. Just like all that stuff that they would have to do in order to get me to accept that role. And that is just really, really, really hard to do when you have PTSD and a bunch of women say, well, we're the experts on that. Like, we could find an all male crew, but like, be realistic. If one of them even gets sick and the rest of them are unavailable, then who's the fuck's going to do this? Because camera's rolling. So just get over it. That is California's attitude to me. It's just get over being sexually abused by the American government. Is get over it. Because if you get over it, we can give you the best roles. We can, whatever you want, just like, what do you want? I mean, do you want bitches? Because, bitches can be sent to you. We can arrange that. Do you want cars? It's like, no, I don't really drive. Okay, then fine. We'll get you limos. We'll get you the Batmobile limo, whatever the fuck you want. We'll make that happen. However, no, no. I kind of like the idea that I make music and my life is my own. I like the idea of maybe writing for movies, but like, when am I ever really going to be able to do that? But anyway, I order some food. And the exact moment that I order food, some woman, like every time I order food, there's like women just hovering about, but she's behind the glass in the lobby of the building. And she's like trying to talk to me, just like, I'm gonna be going your way, blah 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 blah. And I'm just like, I am here to get my food, and until I get my food, like, you're just gonna have to stay there. And then she's like, and I just like, fine. I walk outside, and I'm so sick and tired of acquiescing for for such nonsense, because I understand it's a lobby, and therefore I don't own that lobby. I do not own that lobby. But what am I supposed to do when I order food and this woman is just like, well, I have to come through. I have to come through. And she's got two dogs. But her two dogs aren't even like healthy dogs. Like, one dog has like a chunk of fur missing and it's just gross and disgusting. And she's like, oh, you have a husky too. And just like, I don't want to talk to you. I just want to pick up my food. And like, I don't understand why like major buildings don't have training in people who look, I'm not gonna call myself a celebrity. I am not. I am not a celebrity. I'm just a disabled person. But there's no training for that, because there was just like no other way for this woman to fucking get around. And I could have told her, it's just like, can you just like go around because like literally there's an exit or there or whatever. But that wasn't even really the case. There was like one way to go. And so she comes out and then I have to wait. And then my delivery person comes in and is like looking for me and just like plop. And I'm just so I have my food. I have my food in front of me, and now my food is cold because I had to bitch and moan on YouTube about everything that's going on. And like I'm having like a drink from my sippy cup because like what can you do? Oh, but let me get to some comments here. How's your plan of saving up for Canada going? That's when I last hear. So since you left, since I'm gonna catch you up, I decided to number one, wait for the United Nations to make a decision on what's been going on with me because the American government never has a right to sexually torture a citizen. Like I don't care if you think I am hot and fabulous. I'm a hot and fabulous genius which you sexually abused. It's no, I will have my day in court with the United Nations because you violated my human rights. I was enlisted in the Air Force, but that doesn't give you the right to my body, America. It does not. You want me to just jump in front of a grenade in order to protect my fellow servicemen? I'm that person. I mean, I think my life has value, but I guess I'm that person who would push people out of the way of bullets. I'm that person who thinks their life has value, but I care about this country. I cared about being in the Air Force. I really did. When I sang that Air Force song, I sang it with my heart, and they sexually abused me, and that hurts. It hurts that the American government literally said, "We're going to derail you and the rest of your life. We're going to derail you from being a doctor because why would you want to be a doctor when you're a genius who is a better engineer?" But you could have gone with the amount of PTSD time wasted. I would have had my own practice. I would have been through medical school, been through my residency, and at that point being attending in like a little small town where they need doctors, where they need really competent doctors, especially doctors that have a background in being Native American, which I am. But America fucked me over that. And so instead of being a doctor, I'm this weird person who wears leather and mesh shirts and cannot talk to people and literally runs from women because I'm just freaked out over and over and over and over again. So I was supposed to go to Canada. I was supposed to go to Canada. I was all set, but then I picked up another dog to be my service animal, and he's been in and out. I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to. I don't want to. I don't even want to say it, but I think I'm gonna actually have to give that dog up because, just like you said, going to Canada, I can go to Canada. I'm a free man. I'm a free citizen. I can go to Canada anytime I want. But this dog is trained for a specific task. He does his task well, but it's not as easy to move around with two dogs. 2 prosthetics, I'm sorry. I have to be adamant about that. I have 2 prosthetics, and it's like I'm supposed to treat them as prosthetics, and, if you can't really move fast enough with one, you're supposed to just get rid of it, but it just doesn't sit well with me. And so, instead of cowering in the corner, I started thinking that maybe no, not maybe, definitely. It's definitely better to start fighting these things. It's definitely better to join with your community. I mean, if I have a problem running away from females, then what if I just hung out with a bunch of dudes more often? I mean, sure, there are mixed spaces in here and that, but what if I had like 2 or 3 guy friends that I could say, you know, why don't I come visit you at your place? You come visit me at mine, and let's just have a conversation, enjoy stuff, like build a rapport with someone other than myself and my dogs. So I started requesting from the California to make some non-profit organizations because I said, I'm not the only one suffering. I mean, I have my very specific suffering, but there are people who are suffering in this world, and I have to do something about that. So that's what I did. I made non-profit organizations like Green Future Go, which is for the conservation and protection of werewolves, vampires, and mutants. And I have my own office. So there's that. It's nice to be able to move forward with that. It's not an office 100% by myself. I don't have like a whole floor to myself yet. But then again, I don't know if I need that. But I'm gonna give California until maybe the end of December, and if they're gonna keep pulling this kind of bullshit on me of like what the fuck are you doing? You just like you're a star, whatever, stay in your room, get your stuff delivered, keep your door locked, all that. Like, what are you doing? You can't go to the mall. You can't. Who the fuck are you trying to protect me from when I look at my streaming stats and people click on my songs, but not that level, okay? There's nobody, clicking on my songs and saying, you're the best songwriter since Bob Dylan. Clearly not. So what is this all for? And as far as acting goes, I'm mentally unwell. I'm mentally unhinged. Like I I don't understand like what this issue is because what they wanted me to do in that situation in the lobby is throw a fucking hissy fit so that they can say, "Oh, well, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with you?" And it's just, no, what is wrong with all of you? What is wrong with all of you in California that you keep shoving me in this situation where I'm uncomfortable because a woman has to invade my personal space for whatever reason? And they're being like super elaborate about it. Like yesterday, it was they pulled like the fire alarm in order to have a woman jump me on the stairs. And it's just like, no, she didn't like attack me, but she like popped out of nowhere. And it's just, it's Why? Why? I don't understand. I really don't. Like, people come to my YouTube channel, they might see me or recognize me from Twitch, but it's not at such a level that I really have to think about it. And yes, this is the wrong town to, like, maybe go walking after midnight, which clearly I don't do. I'm just asking California, can you stop? Can you stop for a second and just let me get my food in peace? It's obvious that I can't sit in a restaurant, I can't do anything. Saffron, thank you so much for coming by. I'm sorry today has just been a complete bummer. I I can't make this better. I really can't. So this is what life is going to be. Thank you so much, Saffron, and you have a good rest as well. Sleep well. Sleep well. I'm gonna have yet again more nightmares because you know I left Los Angeles because I said these jump scares and these, can we invade your personal space? Do this? Can we do that? No, thank you. Just stop it, California. Stop. Because every time you do, I have impetus to, when the United Nations get back to me, say, oh yeah, and can you pull the tape from this? And can you pull the tape from that? And can you see that there's a pattern? Okay, then yeah, there's something definitely wrong with America if they do this. I'm sorry to the person who just came in. It's just, what is wrong with this country? Like, I'm not a dog. I'm not your lab rat, California. Just knock it off. I mean, you already had three peace officers, I'm sorry, because this particular town doesn't really do police in this area. They do peace officers. And anyway, they've come to this place. Do I need to fucking call them up and say, I have some questions about what's going on here, and I need you to maybe investigate on my behalf? Because I have every right to do that. I have every right to say that I don't appreciate what you're doing here. I really don't. So please back off and go bother someone who's white. That Tom Holland has a lot of free time, a lot of free time to eat chips and whey. So if he has free time to do that, you can bother him. I mean, he's got a little Spider-Man belly. And if you want to hound him about it, he's a celebrity. You can go ahead and do that. I happen to think it's lovely that he's got more cushion for the pushing. So if Spider-Man has a thick ass in that lovely new suit, I mean, I wouldn't complain. I might actually see the movie twice if Spider-Man finally had a thick ass, as opposed to that bony thing that he's been shaking around all these time. No, no, Spider Man with a thick ghetto booty on a Brit man might actually be something I'd like to see on a large, large screen with my pants on, and then wait for the home video so I could take my pants off and watch it again. You know, please bother him. Bother him. I'm I'm just a regular person. I'm just a regular person. I'm a dude. I'm a dude with dogs that are prosthetics. I do cast magic in public often, but don't you have CGI? Like, wouldn't you rather see pixels than actual magic? So, yeah, just kindly, California, go fuck yourself and let me enjoy my food. Like, there's no need to bother me with all this bullshit. I'm a veteran. I am a military veteran. I've served my country. My country betrayed me every chance they get. And then finally, after nearly 10 years, they said, fine, we apologize. And I said, fine, okay, let me be by myself, not talk to people, and just eat in solemn silence and solitude while reading a good book. Because that's all I have left. Because I can't watch television. I can't watch most movies because as women in it, and I have PTSD and I already broke one TV over it. And I like my screens, so I had to choose. So I said, nah, nobody's on my screen now. So I am behind on all my shows, all my movies, everything. It's terrible. But that's what happens when you have PTSD and life continues to bother you. And it's true, I should run away and just be a hermit somewhere where I would be happy. But I don't choose to be happy. I choose to fight because that's who I am. I'm a person who fights for the citizenry of America, but maybe not America, because these people need a hero and they need someone who will stand up to big government over things like border control and disease control. I will not ignore the fact that these idiots and cowards back down from a fight that cost American citizens their lives, their jobs, and their business. So, as much as California wants to say, you're a star, you're a star, you're a star, I'm going to say, no, I'm an American freedom fighter and I fight for our right to breathe fresh, clean air without choking on smog or having a virus run rampant through our communities. I will fight to protect not just myself, but everyone else around me. So please back the fuck off. All right. I'm going to enjoy my cold food now. Have a good day.